Children from aspirational middle-class families, children who basically are not presenting in a way where you would say, blimey, there's a lot of risk factors around them. These are not the children I see in child protection services. These are not the children whose milk teeth will come through black. These are not the children with a flat back of the head because they haven't been picked up ever. Okay, these are kids where you see the neglect. It just sits on their bodies. It's horrendous. These are children where everything is kind of nice. We go on holidays, we have an enriched environment, we do this, that and the other. But these children are cutting into their arms. They are depressed, they are anxious, they are having panic attacks. The world has collapsed around them. And the question is why? And the answer seems to sit a lot around what you young people were saying, around this kind of target-driven system where it's all about grades. One of you said, you know, why are we basically being, you said it much better than I'm about to say it, but identified, or even kind of, why are we being seen as the sum of our grades? You know, was it, I think it was you. Yeah, it was. Brilliant. I loved it, and you said it a lot better than I have. But you're absolutely right. And it is utterly demeaning. But I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but you must have friends or young people you know who are obsessed with grades to the point that they are almost catatonic. They cannot function because of the anxiety. You see that? You see that? Now the problem with that therefore is that everything you need to be able to do well at school, problem solving, creativity, decision making, fantasy versus reality, in order to do that amazing piece of kind of creative thinking, and where does fantasy end and reality begin, and all that lovely stuff that we really want to encourage kids to think about. All that stuff you need to actually do as well as you possibly can goes when you feel anxious. So the more anxious you feel, the less able you are to deliver. The less able you are to deliver, the more it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's where we see this cycle beginning. So these kids who you would not expect to presenting to clinical services, because classically they do not present with the markers that we would expect children to come in with in terms of mental health vulnerability, they are now coming in. So therefore, where is the pressure? Now we know that 50% of adult mental health problems will first show themselves at the age of 14, and we know that because at the age of 14, around this time in puberty, the prefrontal cortex goes through massive shifts and changes. If you're interested, look at Professor Sarah Jane Blakemore. If you've never had her talk here, you should get her here next year. Sarah Jane Blakemore is a very good friend of mine. She was named